we're always open. We always have open doors to people that have a vision and want to talk about that, or communities with their councils that want to talk about growth of the league. And I guess we'll wait for the next shoe to drop, eh?
Welcome to episode 289 of Alberta Dugout Stories, the podcast. I'm Joel McFarland. As promised, this is a second episode dedicated entirely to the Western Canadian Baseball League Home Run Derby and All-Star Game festivities last weekend at Siemens Stadium in Okotoks. If you haven't already, make sure to check out our last episode as it features 9 players who are part of the festivities. This time around, we are going to focus on the state of the WCBL. As many know, I once again served as the pregame show host and on-field reporter on the Home Team Live broadcast, which was also seen on RFD TV and Water Network. We had several guests on during the show, and thanks to Home Team Live, we'll bring you some of those chats here on the pod. One that we weren't able to get to was a panel conversation with the 3 builders honored by the WCBL during the pregame ceremonies. Longtime Regina Red Sox Governor Bernie Eisworth, the Lethbridge Bulls founder and Alberta baseball legend Doug Jones, and former Okotoks Mayor Bill McAlpine were recognized with plaques for their service to the league. We'll be looking to get all 3 on a future episode of the podcast. We'll start things off on the pod this week with League President Kevin Kvame, as we always start the broadcast with a State of the Union from him. We talk about the league today and into the future, and we also touch on the Lethbridge Bulls' 25th anniversary.
Let's start off talking about what's the main talk in the I know the governors are meeting in the Core 4 right now. What's the big talk of the town right now in Okotoks as we get closer to the WCBL All-Star Game?
You know, I would think that the biggest topic we're having is stability. You know, how to keep the league stable, how to protect all the franchises that are in the league, and also look to the future, where we're going to be in 5 years. Is there communities out there that are going to join the WCBL that deserve to have this type of experience in the summer months in their communities? It's awesome in the 12 communities we have, and it's been an awesome year. We have playoff races in both divisions, both for upper spots and for the final playoff spot. So it's going to be a great 2 weeks to the finish line, and then we expect an awesome playoff. And we're still got our fingers crossed that record attendance is going to see us through by a lot this year. So that's really exciting as well. And it's been a great year as far as our Viterra Kids Camp went. Lots of kids participating. I was at the one in Lethbridge on this past Thursday. 100 and some kids out there. Mass organized chaos, as I called it, but it was they migrate. I mean, I think the most exciting moment for a lot of the kids was when T-Bone made his appearance out there, and all the chitter chatter stopped, and the focus was on him walking onto the field, and then they got a lesson from a lot of our Bulls players on how to play the game, and they had a great time. So that was across every community in the league this year, so awesome experiences there. And just some of our other partners, like the Red Arrow bus is going to be parked in front of the stadium today, and they've been an awesome partner with the Red Arrow report that you've been working on. And so just a lot of marketing opportunities. I saw the turnout for the food bank night in Regina was incredible. So thanks to Sentinel Storage and that to be partners with that. And it's just been an exciting year to build the WCBL to where we're at.
Talk a little bit about the community buy-in aspect of things, because you mentioned even the food bank stuff, but you look around the league, the fans seem to be buying in. They're really enjoying the quality of product. And frankly, I was actually chatting with a few of the players before the game today. The longtime guys are really impressed with the level of play this year, because everybody's got the ability to beat everybody game in and game out.
Yeah, I mean, there's obviously some teams that have struggled to, I thought Weyburn had Medicine Hat last night. They were 4-3 in the bottom of the ninth with 2 out and a runner at second, and the Medicine Hat player clutched up and got a double, and they wanted it extra innings. But you're right, the competitiveness, that game is exciting for the fans that were out at Athletic Park last night. So just it's exciting to watch them online and to see some of the quality of competition, the level of pitching that happens a lot of nights. We've had everything from 1-0 games. I mean, I don't want to talk about Lethbridge too much, but I mean, they do come up this week that they were playing the Brooks Bombers in Brooks, and on the Tuesday night, the game was 31-26. The same two teams turn around 4 days later and play a 1-0 game in Lethbridge. I mean, it's incredible some of the stories that can be told in this league, Joe.
I think nobody was more surprised than probably you when you were looking at the scoreboard from that Tuesday night game going, are we watching a CFL football game or what is going on here? But it was talking to the players, it was a fun one, but not one that they want to repeat anytime soon.
Yeah, yeah, and suffice it to say, they had a lot of assistance in that game from a very, very strong wind. So,
yeah.
I mean, those things happen,
Alberta
and
could handle.
They create good stories in the end.
Absolutely. Speaking of great stories, the Saskatoon Berries joining the league. You finally get that. You used to call it the black hole on the map of the WCBL. Getting Saskatoon, that big market back. What's that meant to the league, and not just having a team back there, but having a competitive team that's on a strong winning note right now, but also a team that the community's bought into as well.
Yeah, the Berries did an incredible job of marketing pre-season, and they've hit it out of the park all year long. So kudos to the organization there. I think they have a little bit of experience in running sports teams, so I think they had a leg up going into the season, which is great to see. I was in Saskatoon for their second and third games of the year. Packed houses both times. They've got Cairns Field really hopping this year, and I know they have exciting plans down the road to even make it better. So they've been a welcome addition to the league. It feels balanced again.
Another market in the East that is really catching a lot of attention right now, the Regina Red Sox getting themselves some conversations happening about a new stadium in that city. I know it's still fresh. We're going to be chatting with Al Simpson in a little bit about the developments in Regina and what they're planning to do there. But talk about being able to expand upon the success of the Red Sox and make sure that they become a long-term and viable market with a bigger stadium at some point down the line.
Well, I sure hope that they had some political figures out at their food bank night the other night, because that place was packed. And what an awesome night. Community engagement, fans engaged in the thing. That's the thing they can do every night with a new ballpark. I asked Al or Gary, who's their league team president, just a few minutes ago. I said, "You bring the Regina mayor here to see this tonight?" I mean, we're honoring Bill McAlpine later today, and the thing. What a visionary he was to create this situation in Okotoks when Calgary basically said, we don't believe in baseball, or maybe not directly, but the insinuation is there, and and Okotoks mayor was a visionary, and he stood up and said, let's put it here. And I think that that was one of the best political decisions ever made in a community like Okotoks.
An interesting decision was made 25 years ago, and that was to place a Alberta team in the Saskatchewan Major Baseball League, and the LA Bulls made their debut 25 years ago. I was down in Lethbridge for your celebration on Canada Day. It was a greatly attended afternoon and evening affair there, but looking back on that 25 years after the fact, do you still kind of get the goosies a little bit about how much that program has transitioned and how it really changed the face of what was then the SMBL, turned into the WMBL, which is now the, of course, WCBL?
Yeah. I mean, it's interesting to think about where things would have gone if Doug Jones didn't have that vision and foreseen. I mean, the goal all along was to bring a team into that league and then build the league into something special, because Major League Baseball was pulling out of Canada with their affiliate teams. A lot of issues on the border, mainly, I think. And that the Lethbridge Bulls were the trailblazers, obviously, but it was followed up by a rivalry in Medicine Hat, and then the Calgary Dawgs came in, and then the move to Okotoks. And Edmonton's had numerous iterations of the prospects over the years moving around to ballparks. I hope they have a new home next year finally, and can really celebrate a home base for years to come. So, yeah, the Bulls are doing fine, and 25 years later, they have visions for bigger things down the road as well. So it's exciting times in Lethbridge for our 25th anniversary, and it is I guess we take a little bit of pride in where the league has come since that day.
Absolutely, a lot to be excited for the future of Lethbridge baseball, but also here in the Western Canadian Baseball League as well. One more question for you before we let you go, President. You talked about the viability of the league in 5 years and looking to expand. I mentioned Saskatoon being that black hole. I'd be remiss if I didn't talk expansion a little bit. I know you've got that dream of 16 teams. I know you love round numbers. What's next? Do you have any inklings on where there might be some kicking of tires or some conversations being had about what might make sense for next?
Yeah, I don't think a lot has changed in the last year. I think the target market still, if you were to look Eastern Division, Brandon, Manitoba would be the next one. And then if you look back into Alberta, the community of Airdrie is standing out there to be the north end of the greater Calgary area market, and they could create a greater rivalry with the south market here. At some point down the road, if we get Spruce Grove stabilized in their market, a second Edmonton area team would be great. Grand Prairie is obviously the next biggest city that is in Alberta that is lacking a team, but they would be a good. And then, of course, the kind of the quiet market out there is Lloydminster that has a very growing city that probably location-wise makes a lot of sense. But we're always open. We always have open doors to people that have a vision and want to talk about that, or communities with their councils that want to talk about growth of the league. And I guess we'll wait for the next shoe to drop, eh?
Next up, as we always do during the broadcast, is a welcome from the hosts. This time around, we sit down with Okotoks Dawgs GM Tyler Hollick to talk about everything going on with the program, especially with the recent draft where several players of different vintages were selected, including Micah McDowell and Eric Hartman. Tyler
Hollick of the Okotoks Dawgs, you wear a bunch of different hats here, don't you?
Yeah, it's fun. I mean, I've had the privilege to learn a lot from John and kind of what his original vision was, and it continues to grow and transform from there. But yeah, I'm the general manager, so anything involved with ticket sales, game day operation, sponsorship, food and beverage, and then we run a youth academy, 18U program parallel to this as well, so that we also look after. But we have a great staff led by John there, and it's a lot of fun.
It's a lot of fun, but also at the same time, as somebody who gets to visit here every so often, I love to see him running around and just trying to see everybody. It's quite impressive. I am curious, because you're a Dawgs Academy guy, right? Like you started as a player in that program.
Yep.
And I asked this of John last year, because I'm like, imagine being you and see, back in 2005, 06, when you're starting to build this thing, and to what it's grown to today. As someone who's one of the original Dawgs Academy guys, to see what this has developed into, what's that like from your perspective when you walk in and you're like, man, this place has come a long way?
It's special in a lot of ways. I mean, I think you look at the stadium and the programming and everything that we're kind of offering and trying to take it to the next level, but it goes a lot deeper from that for me. Like I've now been a part of this program longer than I haven't, and I think it's, I met my wife because I moved out to here to go to school in Okotoks, and my best friends as part of that original class, a lot of them, and it's a really special place because the people that are in it. I think you look at, Siemens Stadium was voted best ballpark in North America, and we're third North America in college summer league attendance, and the academy's growing and having success in its own rights with guys going off to big schools on scholarship, and we had 6 guys drafted a couple days ago. It's really cool in that way, but the relationships and the people just continue to grow it. So yeah, it's hard to imagine what it could have turned into in 2007, and the vision was correct. And people might have thought he was crazy. People thought he might be the smartest guy in the world, but it's working. And just to have this in the middle of Okotoks, our beautiful community, and the fan support we get is so fun. So.
Absolutely. We brought the Western Canadian Baseball League world right into your back door for a third straight year. Looking out, you see a bunch of fans setting up, getting ready to watch some dingers be hit. What's that like from your perspective to see you see Saskatoon jerseys and Moose Jaw jerseys and Edmonton jerseys, like everybody gets to come here and party in your own backyard?
Yeah, it's fun. I mean, first of all, we have a merch store right there, so they can go buy some Dawgs stuff and cheer for the right team. But no, it's cool. The WCBL is growing. It's going in the right direction. It's really high quality baseball. I mean, the league put kind of the world on notice, in my opinion, with the draft. There was countless alumni, signing out of here, former players getting drafted and playing in professional baseball. So you look at you see some of the guys that were even on our team last year and coming up through the academy, like Eric Hartman was an academy affiliate, and he caught the last out of the championship game last year, and then you watch what the Radisac kid is doing and all these different things. Like you could be watching the next generation of professional baseball players that you're cheering on Sunday Night Baseball or in the World Series or whatever it is. So it's really cool. It's a celebration of the league. It is Canada's premier summer league, and we're proud to host it. And it's, again, we talk about the Dawgs, but it's a really good group of people pushing the league in a really good direction really quickly. So.
Quick shout out to all the people that you've got working behind the scenes. I know Tyler Milton and his little army of people have been going nonstop for the last couple of months here, making sure all the bells and whistles are in place, eh?
Totally, yeah. And I think it's tough because you host it for 3 straight years, and you want to continue to not maybe outdo yourself, but offer different things, fun things for the fans, for the players, make it memorable, and really celebrate how great the league is. And we've been at this full speed since the winter, so just little intricacies of it and bigger ones themselves. But yeah, Tyler Milton, Val, Madison, the whole operations team, and John, pushing the envelope to see what else we can bring to this great event. So it's been a lot of fun, and I'm excited to kind of just watch it all get showcased.
Mm-hmm. Final question for you. We actually have Micah Hartman. Got them both mixed up. Micah McDowell coming up in just a couple of seconds here. Chatted with him yesterday about getting drafted by the Miami Marlins. I called it the Florida Marlins a couple of times. I'm dating myself a little bit.
That's the Joe Surgeon model.
Oh, man, that is the Joe Surgeon model. You had Micah, you had Eric, you had a few others that you mentioned 6 in total just from your program. What's that mean to you in the program to be able to have that kind of notoriety and that kind of ability to have guys that can be produced at the highest level?
I think it's special for a couple reasons. I think it's kind of a reflection on the work that has been put in for those individual players and the program that was put in place, not only just here but at their school. And a lot of stuff to get drafted and to play at the highest level with the best players in the world. There's a lot of work that goes behind the scenes a lot of people don't play, or a lot of people don't see, pardon me. But the other part of it is that it continues to reinforce the quality of the play in the league. It is there's more players drafted, there's more players going to good schools, and I've just from a general fan and somebody that sees the game every night played in this park is the elevated play is happening. Like it's a better version this year than it was last year, and I think that's going to continue to attract future stars of our league. And it's a really quality experience. There's a ton of great franchises and great venues to play, and the fans and all the community is really unique and a fun place to play. And you're getting 56 games in about 70 days to get a lot better, to go back down to college or get seen and get scouted and go play professional baseball. It's the place to be.
One of the big pieces of news around the WCBL over the last few weeks has been what's going on in Regina. City Council there has been going back and forth with the Red Sox on a possible new home to one day replace Curry Field. We've seen the renderings for a stadium in the rail yards from a few years back, and those are back on the table. I chatted with Red Sox VP Al Simpson to get the details on what exactly is in the lineup when it comes to council.
The Regina Red Sox have been in conversations with the city of Regina on new ballpark, maybe some changes to the existing ballpark. I want to get it from the horse's mouth. I want to hear it from you first. What do you got up your sleeve?
Thanks to have us on the show, Joe. This has been a process that the Red Sox kind of introduced in April of 2021. We did concept drawings of what we thought a new ballpark could and should look like. And on July the 17th, we were in front of City Council. And we had asked them in a notice of motion to put some money towards a new ballpark in Regina, and they've, conditionally said yes to that. They've conditionally said yes to some land in kind as another financial contribution, and it's really all contingent upon us hiring a company called DCG Philanthropics out of Saskatchewan, who's very, very well known in the sports community in Saskatchewan, to do some fundraising for us. So if we're able to fundraise up to $5 million, then we're on to the next step, which is probably designs and location.
Well, and you've done a lot of that work already in terms of, you've looked at the rail yard as an example. The old Taylor Field is a option perhaps. Do you have a spot where you're like, this is our priority number one, I suppose, or are you willing to hear all options and availabilities at this point?
So the motion that was approved at Regina City Council on the 17th stipulated only 2 locations, either the rail yards on Dudney Avenue or the old Taylor Field site when it was torn down.
2 for 2.
So yeah, so only those 2 options in the notice. The Red Sox would be really in favor of the rail yards. We think that there's a bigger bang for money spent being on the rail yards, given that Dudney Avenue is already a bit of an entertainment strip, and baseball being a social game, I think they mesh together. That said, the Taylor Field site would certainly be something that we would happy to be at. So yeah, we're really looking forward to it. It's a big step for the Red Sox.
So what's next for your group? You said you got to hire a consulting company. Walk us through what you foresee as being sort of the big 1, 2, 3 priority areas that you want to do over, say, the next year.
Yeah. So number one is hiring the consulting company and going into this process with the city and this notice of motion that was approved for the ballpark on the 17th. We had been in conversations with DCG. And they have done a lot of fundraising in Saskatchewan for sports sort of facilities. I think they raised $60 million for Gordie Howe Bowl in Saskatoon. So they gave us a letter of opinion that it was their view that they thought that they should be able to raise anywhere between $4 and $8 million philanthropically for a new ballpark at the rail yards. And so we're relying on their expertise on this, and we pegged $5 million or greater as the number that we'd like to achieve. And we're very hopeful, and we'll work hard that we can get there. But that's the next step. Once we achieve that, then we'll probably go back to making a decision on site, so either the rail yards or Taylor Field, and then it would be on to the more advanced concept, moving from concept drawings to more permanent and sort of functional design aspects of a ballpark.
I know, best case scenario, you've got this field built yesterday. In your mind, what's best case scenario when you can see, if everything goes according to plan, when would you love to see doors open on a new stadium?
I think that if we could play baseball the spring of 2027 in a new stadium, that would be outstanding. I think you've got probably what's left in 24 for fundraising, some of 25 to get your work done and excavation. And the construction season can be quite short in Saskatchewan.
We have no idea about that in Alberta at all. Ask the Edmonton prospects.
And so, yeah, I think May of 2027, if we're playing baseball in a new venue in Regina, Saskatchewan, that would be wonderful.
We are here at the All-Star Game. I'd be remiss if I didn't ask you, how cool would it be to host an All-Star Game in Regina in the not-too-distant future in a new ballpark, perhaps?
You know, it's going to be tough to wrestle it away from Mr. Orcandia here. And I say that with respect. What the Okotoks Dawgs do for this WCBL Showcase All-Star Game is absolutely unbelievable. I don't know. I'm guessing they're going to do 5,000 or 6,000 fans here today. There's probably a couple thousand milling around already. Yeah, we would love to host an All-Star Game, but I think there's a couple other teams in the league that might be chasing us on that too. But we'd do it.
I have no doubt. And I mean, realistically, Regina's is a great sports community. They will envelop, whether it's Grey Cup or anything else, they will open it with, or welcome it with open arms, right? And that's the thing that you have in your back pocket is that baseball community loves its baseball and will do anything to support it.
You know, you're absolutely right. Great baseball community, great baseball fans, but even in general, Joe, there's a general affinity for sports in Saskatchewan. So you know the sport the Rough Riders get, but even up in Saskatoon with the Rush, the National League, National Lacrosse League team, it's tremendous. And so yeah, we wouldn't have any issues with the support that we get from fans in a new ballpark or hosting an All-Star Game.
Changing gears a little bit, our next guest on the broadcast was someone familiar to ADS through his writing. Kevin Glew was in Okotoks representing Canadian Baseball Network as Bob Elliott was attending the National Baseball Hall of Fame Museum induction ceremony. It was nice getting to chat with Kevin about his second impression of Okotoks as well as the recent MLB draft, which was a big one for Canadians.
And another special guest here. Usually it's Bob Elliott, and I try to make him cry. I'm not going to do that to Kevin Glew, I promise.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
So, the really short story before we get going here, Kevin, is him and I have messaged back and forth numerous times and have never really been able to chat face-to-face until today. So it's awesome getting to do that, first of all.
Well, it's great to meet you.
And second of all, you were here back in 2022. You missed last year.
Yeah.
But I want to go back to 2022 for a second. Being from Eastern Canada, Ontario, no, we don't hold any grudges. When you walked up here and looked at what is in front of us, what was your first thought that went through your mind?
My first thought was, wow, I can't believe this tremendous facility. It's a beautiful setting. I mean, the field is like, I've been inside professional ballparks, and this is better than most professional ballparks. It's just everything's first rate. I mean, the clubhouse is great. The Dawgs Academy field's great. Siemens Stadium's, as I say, it's like a professional stadium. It blew my mind, put it that way.
Mm-hmm. Well, and it's amazing to think as well, the different facilities all around here and the fact that they're always looking to innovate. Like I didn't even get to talk to Tyler Hollick about the new ribbon board out in the outfield, or they've added a new section of seating. Like, they're always looking to improve.
Yeah.
It's been a busy few days for you. We had Micah McDowell on the show not too long ago here. Canadians were drafted aplenty, and
Yes.
You were busy at Canadian Baseball Network talking all about the draftees in Canada. Give us your scouting report, so to speak, on what you saw out of that draft and how busy it was from a Canadian perspective.
Well, it's funny because last year there were only 9 Canadians drafted, and this year we had 17. Well, Canadian Baseball Network, we count some people that other people don't, like
Right.
Tyler Wilson, for example, is Steve Wilson from Victoria, BC's son. Dante Norrie, who was the first overall pick, was born in Toronto but raised in Northville, Michigan. But no, overall it was fantastic. I mean, Emilian Petrie was taken in the second round by the Rays. He just signed a $1.5 million signing bonus yesterday, apparently. So Nathan Flilling, as you guys probably know more about him than I do, but just rocked it, I guess, at the Major League Baseball Combine. We had a lot of guys, like 6 rounds. I think we had 6 guys in the first 6 rounds. So it was one of the better drafts in recent years. I mean, we didn't have that, Josh Naylor, who's going in the top 12 overall, but it was a fantastic overall. Really exciting time for Canadian baseball.
Absolutely. And I mean, you mentioned Nathan Flewelling, but it feels like this year was a bit of a turning point maybe for Western Canadians, because there certainly felt like there was more. Was that the sense that you got as you looked through the archives for the last few years?
No, I certainly felt like that. And I mean, this is a testament to the Dawgs organization. I was looking at the list, like Jack Lyons, he's a Dawgs product. He got drafted. Micah McDowell, as you mentioned there. Eric Hartman, that's another guy. We've got, Flewelling, as we mentioned. But I do think that this facilities like this, and there's other facilities in, Alberta, as you well know, but it's grown tremendously, I think, in Alberta. And for a long time, it was like the hotbeds were BC and Ontario and Quebec. I shouldn't leave that out. I'll make somebody angry.
How dare you?
But yes, exactly. But now you see guys drafted from Nova Scotia. Like Micah McDowell was born in, I think it was Kentville, Nova Scotia.
Yeah.
So
Look at you pulling. This is why Kevin Glew does what he does with Canadian Baseball Network. Before I let you go, let's give the folks a little bit of a rundown of what Canadian Baseball Network is all about. You're rocking the hat. What are you guys about? And give us a little bit of a shameless self-promotion, so to speak.
Well, we're the all-encompassing Canadian, we try to be anyways, the all-encompassing Canadian baseball website. We cover everything from the draft to Sandlot teams to college players to retired players. I'm going to have a feature on Matt Stairs, who I'm sure you're going to talk to if you haven't talked to him already. We try to do everything there, and of course Bob Elliott was the founder. I wouldn't be here without Bob Elliott. I mean, the guy is like the god of Canadian baseball. He's the one who founded the site. I'm just the editor. Bob's the editor-in-chief. So I mean, tough shoes to fill here today without Bob being here.
It feels a little weird. It's like, where's Bob? But he's got some important things to work with.
Yes,
so.
exactly. He's in Cooperstown. So
kind of a big deal.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, this is a big deal. Don't get me wrong, but Cooperstown's pretty good. So.
Yes, exactly.
Heading back to Saskatchewan, it's been a crazy year for Steve Hildebrand as the Saskatoon Berries have taken to the field. The WCBL's expansion team is having a great first season and are very much in the hunt for the playoffs. We chatted with Hildebrand about how he feels things are going a year after we last chatted and what's on deck for the future.
a year in, how you feeling?
I feel great. Obviously, the group's done a great job, and it was a year ago. I remember walking around here with black T-shirts that said Saskatoon Berries baseball team on it, and it's been a long time since that point. But the city's taken to the team really well. I can't say enough about them. They've come out in droves. It's been great. Joe's done an unbelievable job with our team, and it's been really good. We're really excited about where we're at, and in saying that, we know we still got a lot to learn and got to keep moving forward.
I'm always curious, what's been the biggest surprise or the biggest thing that you went, oh, we didn't necessarily expect that going into a baseball season?
I don't know about surprise. I think everyone from our production team, myself, everyone's just learning. I don't know if it's a surprise. I think it's every day we're learning something new and just trying to get better at that. And we will. And like I said, our group from sales, marketing, ticket, sponsorship, as you know, we got a big group, and they're all learning too, and it's been awesome.
Talk about the on-field product. You've got Joe Carnahan, who's a well-oiled machine, it feels like, and I kind of said it to you off air, is he's always got that trademark of like, okay, we'll have a good 500 kind of first half of the season, then all of a sudden July hits, and you guys are on a winning streak now. What's it like having that kind of baseball mind working at your disposal?
Yeah, obviously he's done an unbelievable job. He's a great human being that starts there. I spoke to this earlier, but going into the season, we had a bunch of new guys that Joe recruited. He had to find his way through that, right, and see what we had and didn't have, and it's been fun. These boys, they stick together. He's put a real good group together. We're a young team. We still make young mistakes, but we're finding our way through it. And these last two games in Sylvan Lake, fun baseball to watch, and it was cool to see our guys compete and be right there with them. And we're just keep moving forward with it, and it's exciting. We've been on the road, I think, 17 days, and I know people are excited to see us back here on Monday at home.
Absolutely. One of the big storylines for your team this year, and I chatted with Joe about this prior to the season, was there's a really heavy local contingent. How important was it for you, first off, to make sure that you had some of that hometown connection, whether it be Carter Beck, for example, but you have Nolan Sparks in the outfield. You have a few guys that are able to hold that Saskatchewan flag as well.
Yeah, I think I said it at this desk last year. We mandated it, not mandated it, but said and believed in the local talent that we have. And we feel that we can help create the local talent, right? And it's going to take some time, but we knew those guys were there. And they're not just there because they're local, they're there because they've earned it. Mm-hmm. And all the guys that we have, I think, we kind of chuckle some nights in our lineup. We have 5 local guys that are playing, and I think it's great, and they deserve to be there. And so pretty excited about that, and we want to continue that going forward.
Absolutely. Looking ahead now, obviously you've still got a season left to play here, but what's on your to-do list? What kinds of things do you want to see refined over the last few weeks, and what are you looking forward to as we head into 2025?
Yeah, I think just a lot of learning and getting our production and everything we have at the ballpark better. We'll sit down at the end of the year with our group and see what we can do and see what we can make better and see how we can do things better. And I know Joe and I will sit down and we'll go over the season and see what we can come up with. And at the end of the day, we're excited about it. We start our academy in the fall here, the Saskatoon Berries Baseball Academy, which is really taken off, and excited about that. And again, I'd like to say it's about growing the game, but there's a lot of good people in Saskatoon that have set that mark already. And for us, it's about joining them and joining the community and growing good baseball people in and around the community.
You mentioned the academy. I'm glad you said it. I mean, you've got Andrew Albers at your disposal as an example, but how key is it to have those vets and those young guys, even the young guys who might be Saskatoon born, who can come back and give back to those young kids so that they can maybe, if you can see it, you can be it kind of thing?
100%. I mean, even a guy like Logan Hoffman's going to be a part of our academy, and, him coming back to help out. And, with Joe's guidance, we have a lot of local guys that are going to work the academy and be a part of it. And, just, again, pretty excited about that and everything we got going forward. But, for us, it's about making sure we can keep getting better every day. And I think we're on the right path.
We were talking off air. This will be my last question about your expectations heading into the year. Have you exceeded them to this point? or what kinds of things did you lay out as I want to get this done this year in our inaugural season?
Well, if you would have told me come July before this last road trip we had 0 hats to sell, I would have, it's been crazy. The merch has been unbelievable. We have merch back in stock for anyone listening, and
I saw the social media post, by the way, so I can confirm I saw the pictures.
It'll be back in at the ballpark on Monday. I knew it would be great. Yes, has it exceeded a little bit? Yes, for sure it has. But again, kudos to our fans and Barry's, the Barry bunch and everything we got going on. We're excited about it. And as I said, I think we got some new and fresh ideas already in the works for next year, but we'll leave it at that.
It was also a year ago when we first met Mark Stiles. He was named the league's first managing director of corporate sponsorships and marketing. It's a long title with a lot of responsibilities, but Stiles has been key in building up relationships with sponsors as well as improving fans' online experiences, like with broadcasts and the new WCBLbaseball.com. We touched on that and much more in this conversation.
Mark Stiles, I think you might be actually sweating more than me, which is incredible.
No, I'm probably physically sweating more, but I'm not professionally, because the guys like you that do your job so well, Joey, are making it easy for a lot of people around here. So, and thank you. You've got to be exhausted because you've interviewed, I don't know, a dozen people today and some people that really make the WCBL as special as it is. And thanks for everything you're doing for us today. And you may need a new shirt after this one, after this 33
I'm going to
degree
be begging for some new swag before the end of it. You know what? It's been a year since you sat here as the new kid on the block, and you were like just trying to be a sponge and soak it all in. When you look back at this last year, what's been the coolest thing that you've been able to see?
I don't think I could answer that. And you're right. I was here last year because I knew they had told me I was going to be the person that got the job. But I didn't start till September. So it's been, whatever that is, 10 months, I guess, Joe. So for your audience, I guess my role is very different than the president, Kevin Kvame, who you interviewed earlier. Kevin and I work together daily. Yeah. But he handles the administration, the umpires. I always say, anytime somebody's mad at somebody, call Kevin. So I handle sales, revenue, marketing, social media, those type things, and Kevin gets the umpires and the disputes and 50 other things. What's the coolest thing? 2 things, but way more. One, that we'll have over 400,000 fans this summer, a number that this league has never had. 335, I think, last summer, so we're pacing for 400,000. And the cynics could say, well, Mark, you got the Saskatoon Berries, so that skews the numbers. But I could punch back and say it rained every day in June too. So, it's been a great year at the box office, Joe. There's so many cool things. But how many people come to the games? How well received this WCBL and the product is in 12 different communities. I've been to 11. I'll be to my 12th ballpark by Friday in Saskatoon. And there's so much, it's just the fabric of their communities. So I knew I liked the league before I came in because I knew the product. I took my kids to games. But I just love it. I hope they don't, I hope they keep me around because I've had so much fun. And everyone is so passionate and so caring. Fans really love their local team, and this is just a great league. And as you know better than anyone from Saskatchewan and Alberta Dugouts and the Red Arrow Report and what you're doing today, Joe, the product, if you haven't seen a game, just go see a game. And people will enjoy the product for sure.
One of the things, Brendan Luther of the Okotoks Dawgs stopped by and wanted to say hi to me. We've been chatting for years. He's a veteran here, and he says, I've never seen the talent as good as it is now and how balanced it is. The standings aren't necessarily a true indication of how good every team is because every team seems to be able to beat every other team on any given night. How important is that in, I'll call it the marketability of a league, is saying, listen, these teams are giving it everything they got and the talent base is getting better and better?
Well, you could argue you could market it similar to the Western Hockey League or the Alberta Junior Hockey League and say tomorrow's stars today. We've had umpires that have gone on to the major leagues. We had our best day ever at the MLB draft, as you know, earlier this week, 13 kids. But what is so important is that Brooks or Weyburn on any given Tuesday or any given Saturday can beat the Dawgs, can beat the Red Sox, can beat the Berries, some of the bigger markets in this league. And if the rules stay the same for all the teams as it relates to protected lists and how the players are distributed and recruiting, that will continue to happen. And I know 12 governors. I have 12 bosses. Like, you know you're special when you have 12 bosses.
Hardest job in the world.
Or very unspecial. So I know, because I talked to all of them, they want to make sure that it's fair for everybody. Like the Western Hockey League, I always use that comparable. The Swift Current Bronco or the Moose Jaw Warriors just won the Western Hockey League this year. And guess what? There's a lot of big markets in the Western Hockey League, Edmonton, Calgary, Portland, on and on it goes. So this league needs to be the same. Our smaller markets, we have to make sure they can compete with the bigger markets.
One of the things that you've been a really big piece of, you mentioned it earlier, the social media, the website, the marketing, branding side of things. Brand new website, WCBLbaseball.com, came to fruition before the season. How exciting was that to see all of the different pieces come together to make it a better online experience for fans?
Well, it was vital, and I know you're putting that on a tee so I can knock it off. Thank you, because no one knows better than you, Joe. And, well, there's people like you. There's probably 500 people that know what you know, that the league needed a new website badly. So I can tell you tonight, in the last 7 weeks, we've had 300,000 people go to that website, views. I can also tell you, and I don't pretend to be a data guy because I'm not, but the data people with websites tell me the average time viewed on WCBLbaseball.com is 4 minutes and 28 seconds. So my question was, well, is that good? And they're like, very good. So, most people go for the scores, the standings, to see what a player, if he was 1 for 4 or 3 for 5. But our average visit is 4.5 minutes. So the new website, thanks to Jason Johnson at Sports Zone for being the brains behind it with a committee of people. Believe me, it wasn't just Jason or Mark. We had an army of people. Ian Wilson, very instrumental with that website. So that's good. And then we entrusted Ian Wilson with Twitter and X and content on the website. So he's done a magnificent job. Capital letters, exclamation mark, as has Joe Whitbread and Jason Burns with Joe Social Media at a Lacombe. They have triple our followers on Instagram and Facebook. So we're starting to make waves because we have a product that we think we need to tell the story and beat the drum.
And speaking of that product, one of the things you alluded to earlier on is the community side, the community buy-in. We're seeing it's going to be a packed house. You can tell people, aside from hot weather, they love their hot weather here in Okotoks, but talk about the community side, whether it be the Viterra Kids Camps as an example. I know you just recently in the last couple of weeks announced the food bank drives in most of the markets in the WCBL. Getting that community element and that community link together to really make it all come together.
Our clubs give back to each of their communities. The Dawgs just had a teddy bear toss here 8 or 9 days ago and collected about 500 bears and went to numerous charities. Every team gives back to their community, and the league has league programming that we want to give back to the community. So you referenced a couple real key ones. I saw both, actually. I was in Regina Wednesday night. Very happy to tell you, in Regina for the Access Storage WCBL Food Bank Drive, we collected enough food to do 1,700 meals.
Fantastic
just in
stuff.
Regina 3 nights ago. We're going to do that in 7 other parks. Viterra Kids Camp, Viterra's here tonight, is one of our key league partners. We do a kids camp in all 12 of our markets. So, yeah, the league encourages our league members to do their community piece, and the league likes to do community programming as well.
Final question before I let you go and appease the 12 bosses that you have. What's in the future? What do you have as a vision of things that you'd like to move ahead with heading into 2025 and beyond?
Yeah, lots. We want to make sure, you touched on it earlier, that some of our smaller markets are healthy, and they are. So we want to make sure that continues. And it's no secret that potentially, not in 2025, but Saskatoon's new to the league this year. Edmonton, by the way, they poured concrete this week in Spruce Grove, so that new stadium is up and they're building it. So it's Pat Cassidy from the Prospects, if he is on your broadcast tonight, would tell you he'd like to be playing ball out of that in July. I don't think he's thinking May, but kind of a year from now or June. So we'll have a new ballpark there. And down the road, again, not 2025, this league listens and talks to other communities. I'll give you a little bit of an inside skinny. Happens to be some community representative here, I'm not going to tell you where, tonight, where they're looking at a potential WCBL franchise. We'd love to go from 12 to 14 if it makes sense for the business model and we have the right partners.
Our final guest on the broadcast and here on the pod is an all-star game staple and VIP. Canadian baseball legend Matt Stairs was in Okotoks for a few days, chatting with young teams before coming to Siemens Stadium to visit with the players, sign autographs, and a few selfies with fans taken. We had a short chat on air as the pregame ceremonies were just getting underway, and here is that conversation.
You've been back. This is 3 years in a row here in Okotoks. What makes you keep wanting to come back?
I had such a blast here 3 years ago. John asked me to come out 3 years ago to come out and do it. Last year we came out and we had a great turnout for the baseball clinic we did on Friday. Work with the 13, 15-year-old kids. Then when they invited me out, I was like, absolutely, I'd come again. And we come out and we have a good time. We golf with some sponsors. Not very good golf, but we do golf. Then we'll have a clinic on Friday again with 92 kids. Mm-hmm. And just to be out here and be a part of the program, I've bragged about this program for 3 years. Mm-hmm. And I'll probably continue, until I pass away, because this is just an amazing facility, amazing ballpark. And we see in the stadium, the fan support. It's hard to say no. No, we'll never say no to come back here.
Absolutely. You mentioned the 13U stuff, and you and I were chatting before kind of all the festivities began. And that's something that's really near and dear to your heart, isn't it? It's just the ability to give back at that real grassroots level.
Yeah. It really is. It's easy to go watch the 18U AAA teams play, but they've peaked and they're going to take that next step. So my job and what I love to see is trying to work with that 13-year-old, which I think is the most important age, because they just want to take everything in and listen to what you're saying. 15-year-olds are developed pretty good, right? And now it's just a matter of, keeping them, instead of riding the wave, keeping them on the calm street. But it's the 13-year-olds and 11-year-olds that you really work hard with. I mean, you work hard with everybody. But just to go out and see the joy that 13-year-old played, they played the game extremely hard. They enjoy the game. So for me, that's just it makes me very happy just to go out every day and to help these kids do stuff.
You got beckoned down at the field level. I'll let you get going in a second. Wanted to ask one more question for you. What does it mean to be able to give back to baseball in Canada? You go from coast to coast to coast to coast. You're going down to the States. I know you're going to Harrisburg in a couple of days here. What's it mean to be able to give back just in general and to the game that's given you so much?
Well, I don't really think about it. I do it because I love teaching baseball. Everyone knows I'm known for hitting, but I actually do know a little bit about defense as well. But I don't sit back and go, I do give a lot back. I don't think that. It's part of. I know I had a lot of people help me out when I was playing at a young age. So just because I played pro ball doesn't mean I shouldn't give back. It doesn't mean I should give back. I give back because I want to give back. And I think what happens is when you do clinics and you make one little adjustment, and 2 hours later when they're leaving, they come up and they give you the fist pump and say, hey, that worked, thank you. And it's a smile on the face that you help kids with. That's why I do it, is because you help a kid out, boy or girl, to find their swing and they enjoyed the game. And that means they want to continue playing the game. So I guess, I got 3 daughters and 2 grandkids, and seeing a big smile on their face, that helps it out a lot to keep on giving back. And let's face it, someday I won't be around to give back as much as I want to, so I might as well give back as much as I can.
Thanks again to Kevin Kvame, Tyler Hollick, Al Simpson, Kevin Glew, Steve Hildebrand, Mark Stiles, and Matt Stairs for joining us on the All-Star Game broadcast. And thanks to Home Team Live for letting us use the audio for this show. Thanks as well to all of you for downloading and listening. We're going to alter our plans a bit with new episodes, as we will have another one ready for you on Monday next week, then another one on Thursday before we get back to our regular Thursday weekly rotation. Make sure to hit subscribe, as our next episode is all about the aforementioned MLB draft and some of the players who are Alberta born and trained. As always, a tip of the cap to our Platinum supporters for all they do for us and for baseball in Alberta. The Okotoks Dawgs, Under the Lights Sports and Entertainment, and the Western Canadian Baseball League are integral in helping us tell the game stories in this province and for our goals for growth. For more on our teammates, head to albertadugoutstories.com/supporters. Until next time, thank you for all of your support online, on social, and on air of Alberta Dugout Stories.